For an equipment reference, I am watching all of my movies either on my dedicated 4K Blu-ray player in my bedroom on a 55-inch Samsung 8000 series 4K TV, and in my rec room on the Xbox One S Blu-ray player, watching those on a 65-inch Samsung 8000 series 4K TV. Just to let you know how I'm watching these movies. So, what do you do when you have zombies storming the White House and you don't have a wall built? It's time to nut up or shut up.
For me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to another episode of For Me, It Was Tuesday. I'm your host, GQ. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button.
You said I was a zombie? I don't even eat meat.
Like
I'm a
the video,
vegetarian.
leave some comments on this video and the other videos that have been going up. Check out culturejunkies.net. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Zombieland Double Tap. What else? What can I say about this movie? It's directed by Ruben Fleischer, starring Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, Luke Wilson, Thomas Middleditch, Zoe Dutch, and of course, the ever lovely Rosario Dawson. The movie is a sequel to a film, of course, called Zombieland that came out about 10 years ago. Well, I guess technically 11 now. But the first Zombieland really caught me off guard. I did not expect the movie to be as entertaining as it was. Jesse Eisenberg, played the quintessential nerd character that was thrown in a situation that he just was not ready for. Woody Harrelson playing the almost psychotic at times character that he played in that film. So I really enjoyed it. So I was excited to see when they announced a sequel that, of course, I got the original cast back and we got some additional characters thrown in the mix. This film was entertaining. It was fun. It was a lot of, obviously a lot of gore and zombie killing, and I have zero problems with that. I mean, that's what zombie movies are about. But the issue I did have with it was the digital blood, and I think 4K kind of shows the limitations of that in some instances. Now, granted, I didn't expect this thing to have like an Infinity War budget or even a Justice League budget for effects. So I mean, it's like I get it. There's no problem with the almost cheesiness of the effects because that's kind of the tongue-in-cheek nature of the film. They know that it's for fun. So some of the digital blood and some of the digital squib effects and stuff look kind of but at the same time, that's what they were going for. Another thing that I did truly enjoy had to have been just the sheer, outrageousness of the story. They literally start off with, the original four characters, Columbus, played by Jesse Eisenberg, Tallahassee, played by Woody Harrelson, Wichita, played by Emma Stone, and what was Abigail Breslin's character's name? I honestly don't remember. Oh yeah, Little Rock. So they're, of course, still on the run, 10 years in Zombieland, and they decide to hole up in the White House, of all places. The White House has got a lot of history, obviously. You got a scene with Woody Harrelson declaring himself president of Zombieland, sitting at the Resolute desk. You've got Columbus and Wichita decided to take the Lincoln bedroom as their bedroom. So I mean, it's just a lot of hilarious little sequences and things based on that. But eventually, Little Rock, the youngest of the bunch, decides that she wants more. She doesn't want to just stay with the other three characters. Tallahassee is getting a little bit too much, trying to be like a father figure for her, and obviously he's not her father. So she ends up going off with a kind of hipster / hippie type character named Berkeley, and hijinks ensues because the other three essentially go out and try to track her down, and that's the story that's being told. And like I said, I don't really have a problem with it. It's not meant to be a huge thought-provoking plot. It's supposed to be fun. And eventually, Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson actually start off, and they meet another character by the name of Madison. Madison is played by Zoe Dutch, who is actually the daughter of Leah Thompson from Howard the Duck fame. And she, of course, Leah Thompson's done other movies, but Howard the Duck is the first one that pops to mind. She is a very fun character. They play her up as the most stereotypical dumb blonde joke that they could possibly fathom, and she plays it extremely well. She mispronounces people's names. She mispronounces regular words. She's just fun. She's this very, very fun character who has apparently been locked up or living in a freezer at the mall for however many years. So she immediately takes a liking to Columbus because he's the first living male that she's seen in who knows how many years. And, they have a little quick fling, but eventually Wichita, who earlier in the movie, along with her sister, Little Rock, had left the White House because they kind of didn't want to settle down, eventually comes back and, lets everybody know that her sister is missing. And we run into a situation where, okay, Madison's here now, and I just had sex with her, and she's fun, and you're not fun. So it's a little back and forth, a little tension between those two characters, and of course, Jesse Eisenberg stuck in the middle. And eventually we get to a point where during their journey, they meet Nevada, played by the ever beautiful Rosario Dawson, who, if she's watching this, can definitely send me a couple of comments or, love you. Nevada is essentially a badass character. Rosario Dawson has a history of playing badass characters. See Sin City if you need any further evidence of that. And she's a perfect match for Tallahassee. They both love guns. They both love Elvis. And, they get along great. And overall, the entire movie is just fun. They spend the night at the Hound Dog Hotel, which I guess is a hotel that Elvis either had or it's just an Elvis-themed hotel or something. And eventually meets the doppelganger characters for Tallahassee and Columbus, played by Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch. And oh goodness. It's hilarious to watch the sequence because you got Luke Wilson channeling his inner Woody Harrelson, Thomas Middleditch, who I guess is considered to be the poor man's Jesse Eisenberg, his words in one of the featurettes, not mine. His character name was Flagstaff, and he has commandments instead of rules, so that him and Columbus go back and forth about those differences. And eventually those two characters, I'm gonna spoil this real quick, do get zombified, because there's a new class of zombie dubbed the T-800, of course after the Terminator, and they are bigger, stronger, faster, more durable. And some of them rush the hotel early in the morning, and these two characters, and in the trailer it seemed like they were going to be with them throughout the entire movie. They get killed quickly, but the fight scene that ensues between the original characters and their doppelgangers is amazing. It is a one shot, it's a one take, Steadicam shot, and it's done extremely well. And there's even a featurette on the Blu-ray, because again, as you guys know, 4Ks usually do not have a lot of special features on those discs. Most of your special features are found on your Blu-ray. And they have a one-shot take, and they literally show the one-shot unedited. Essentially no special effects is what I mean. Obviously a one-shot is one continuous shot, but no special effects added yet. But they literally, on the featurette, show the entire unedited one take, and it's phenomenal. They do a great job. All the actors are involved in it. I think with the exception of Madison's character, and it's in Abigail Breslin's character because they hadn't found her at this point yet. And it's really well done. So I mean, that's definitely worth seeing the movie just to see that particular sequence because it's phenomenal. Moving forward in the plot real quick, they eventually find Abigail Breslin's character at a place called Babylon, which is a hipster / hippie paradise in a high rise, and no weapons allowed. And it's like, oh great, you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, but you want to get rid of weapons. So you guys know where this is going. The main characters find Little Rock at this place, And unfortunately for them, a bunch of T-800 zombies are coming. A lot of them. I mean, like 1,000 at least. We run into a situation where our heroes, again, being the only ones that can fight, get out there and do their thing. They take on as many as they can, and they are saved by a monster with a monster truck that I can only really call the blender sequence. And that should be enough to let you know how insane that sequence was. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna spoil any more of the movie. It's just, I enjoyed it. I definitely had fun with it. The Blu-ray itself has about 9 featurettes, of course, director's commentary. The featurettes range from, standard behind the scenes fare. They talk about the doppelganger characters. They talk about the new characters that are introduced into the film. They talk about, essentially getting the band back together for the, after 10 years, what it's like to come back to the franchise. So it's kind of like a making of broken up into multiple parts. So I definitely enjoyed it. Zombieland Double Tap, it's a lot of fun. If you are really into the original film, definitely pick this one up. I highly recommend, at least checking it out. If you don't want to necessarily own it, obviously stream it or get it on digital or whatever. But I had fun with it. So if you're a fan of the first one, definitely check this one out if you haven't already. But I'm going to leave you guys with these final words. For many of you out there, the moment you saw Jesse Eisenberg in the title, part of you just wanted to just turn around and go the other way. But then you saw Woody Harrelson in the title, and then it's like, oh wait, this might be really good or really crazy or something insane is gonna happen. So Zombieland draws you in because of Woody Harrelson and probably Emma Stone. But Double Tap adds on Rosario Dawson, so I'm there right off the bat anyway. For many of you, that was kind of, might have been a little bit much, strange to see Jesse Eisenberg in a lead role like that in this type of film. But hey, for me,
It was Tuesday.
I'll see you guys next time. If you're enjoying our content, please consider going to our Patreon and becoming a supporter. There are different tiers to select from, and we thank you for your support.
Culture Junkies!